Good evening, YouTube. So now that we got the new firewall in place, we're going to start doing the inner rocker panels. So we're going to start by cutting out the entire floor and then cutting out the rocker panels and putting new rocker panels on the inside. So let's get to it. So as you can see, that's what the firewall looks like on the inside with the new toe kicks, firewall, all that stuff. But as you can see, the rest of it, yeah, this car, there's not too many people in the world that would even care to save it. But it's a hunk of crap, cuckamanua, as I always say. But we're going to go ahead and cut this entire floor out. Get rid of that, and then what we're replacing after we cut that out is these inner rockers all the way back. And that's why in my last video you saw that I didn't let's see if I get down there, I didn't weld this piece to the new firewall because that's part of the inner rocker and it's total junk. So when I put the firewall on, I just sat it up against where it belonged and did my measurements and all that, and so the firewall's sitting where it needs to, and then we're just gonna cut this entire thing out, and that's what we're working on now. But before we do that, we got to get this whole entire floor out of there, because unless you're the Flintstones, this thing's a hunk of cuckamanua. Alright, yeah, let's start cutting this thing out. The whole floor, we gotta cut it out. I'm just gonna cut out in sections, like I said before. Butcher it out of here. Get it out of here. It don't matter how you get it out. You just need to make the room and get it the beeper out of here. They put a drive shaft loop in this thing. I don't know if they thought it was some kind of hot rod, but I guess back in '84 it might have been. Alright, as you can see, the floor is out. So let's get to real work now. This is the driver's side inner rocker panel. I like to just kind of look at the piece, and then it gives me an idea of what I got to do inside the car to get the old one out. So anyways, this would be like the top view right here. And this is what comes down the side and welds to the inner rocker from the other side here, under here. and then your floor will lay against here later. So looks pretty good. It looks pretty easy, really. Now I'll go inside the car and show you exactly how I plan on getting the other one out. As you can see, this inner rocker panel is severely rotted up here. That's supposed to come down over to here. And the floor was even so rotted that there's not even any floor here anymore. Even though I just butchered it out, like that's a little piece of floor. But as you come back, you can see this thing's very rotted. Ain't no good. Gotta get out of here. So the thing I like to do is very simple. You see all these other guys drilling pinch welds and trying to find your pinch welds and drilling them out, and what a pain in the ass. Screw all that. I just take my cutoff wheel on my grinder and I lay it down right in beside this, and I cut this whole big piece off. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just get rid of that whole thing. I'll cut it down here and lose the whole big piece, and then I like to just take my grinder after, not with a cutoff wheel, but with either a feathering disc or a grinder wheel, and I'll thin this whole piece of metal out right around where I see pinch welds, and then I just take my air hammer and I just knock it free. It's so fast and so easy. It's definitely the way I like doing it. I couldn't be bothered to drill out every single pinch weld. I mean, there's probably 40 pinch welds just on the top of this. I mean, that's just a waste of time to me. I mean, in the end, you're just trying to get rid of a piece of junk metal anyway, so why be nice about it? Just get it out of there so you can get the new one in. So we're going to set the camera up and we'll get this thing cut out. I got that cut on the top there, and now I'm just going to run the wheel above where it gets flat here. I'm going to run it above that just so I can take this big piece out, then we'll get everything else cleaned off after. So let me change my blade and let's get to it. Now, as you see, tons of leaves and crap like that. Where's the money? Where's the money? No, just a bunch of dirt. So anyways, we get that cleaned out, and like I said, I'll run the grinder across here and get the residual inner rocker just cleaned off of there. I got a little piece over here I just gotta make a little cut over here just like we just did. No big deal. But alright, so I'll get that all done and get it all cleaned up, and we'll come back to fitting what we gotta do. You saw me cut it all out and everything. I have not cleaned the face of this off or nothing like that yet. I did take my wire wheel real quick. Oh, you can't really see that. Sorry. I did take my wire wheel and clean this inner brace off because it's the last time we're going to see it. And I put some epoxy primer on it. So, and there's a brace in the back there. I did that as well. right there. So all I want to do now is test fit this. It's a brand new inner rocker panel. Who knows how it fits, but we'll test fit that on there real quick and you know, just put it up there. We're not gonna like put it in place or nothing, but I'm quite surprised with that. It's actually a really nice fitting piece. So geez, there ain't gonna be much to screw around with. For once, something's not fighting me. That's actually really nice. So I like it. So all I'm gonna do now, that's awesome. What I'm gonna do now is get all this cleaned off. From the factory, it's kind of like wavy as hell. I'm gonna straighten it out over here. As you can see, there's a bunch of rot down here. This is the outer rocker panel, and I am going to replace the outer rocker panel as well, but and this is actually part of the outer rocker panel, but the way I've done it in the past is I actually leave this structural piece here, and it's for a whole nother video anyways, but anyway, so what we're going to do is we are going to weld that new inner rocker to the outer rocker here, but we're not going to weld it here. That's because we're going to go ahead and cut this off after I do the other side with the inner rocker. Then we'll cut these off and put them on, but I'll show you that in the next video why I'm leaving this. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna get that cleaned off, and you guys want to hear me talk some more, or do you just want me to do the work? I think I talk too much, but I love you guys, I do. But anyways, no, for real, let's get this cleaned off, and then we'll get that stabbed into place. I'm going to try and stay out of the camera here so I can explain, but I drilled all these holes. You see the holes drilled all the way down. I drilled all the holes. There's a weld-through primer that I sprayed on the on this piece after I cleaned it off. So I got weld-through primer on there. You can probably see a little bit of it right there. But anyways, it's stuck in place where it needs to be. It looks great, and I'm just gonna zap it in there real quick, plug all these holes I drilled in, and then that'll be it for that one. Let's do it! So these ones right here, I'm gonna have to put a couple sheet metal screws in to draw that a little bit closer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish that off camera. All welded in place. I did put a couple extra tacks there just because I felt 2 wasn't good enough, so I welded it right to the firewall or toe kick of the firewall. But anyways, that's all welded in. Whoops, I forgot to take that out and plug weld that. I guess I'll have to do that after this video. But that's all welded in just the way it's supposed to fit. So we're starting to make some progress, and that's it for this video, guys. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe. This car is going to be a fun little build here.